Hi everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today we're going to be doing a mid-century modern home build. Now this house is actually on the gallery as well, so you can head over to the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1 and you can go ahead and download this. I just have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, but I do say 2 bathrooms on the gallery for some reason, I don't know why. No, hang on, yeah, there is 3 bathrooms. I kind of got a bit confused when it came to the screenshots and things, so I did forget to take a screenshot of one of the bathrooms in the master bedroom, but you know, it's only one. Yes, that is on the gallery. It is a little bit expensive, but you know, I suppose it'd be for your richer Sims. And there's no custom content used, so you should easily be able to find it on my profile. So I'm going to go ahead and talk you through the process here. Now, as you can see on screen, I did actually record a video within the video, as you might be able to see by that yellow bar around the screen. I do that quite a lot by clicking that, and I don't know why I do it or how, but I always end up doing it sometimes, so that might explain why there was a little bit of lag there. But luckily it has stopped now. I don't see when that happens because with my recording software, which is Dxtory, it just put an orange kind of like border around my screen anyway to show that it is recording. So when the yellow bar comes up, I don't see it. So, you know, but luckily it didn't last too long this time. So we are moving on to the interior here, and I did pause for a second here, so I'm sorry about that, but I forgot to take it out of the recording. But as you can see here, we are putting a fireplace in and kind of like a TV area. But where that is, I do actually change that to another area in a couple of minutes time. I just felt like that area was a little bit cramped and I didn't really think it was that, you know, good to have it there, so I did change that over in just a minute or two. As you can see here, I am changing the shape of the house just slightly as I go. That's why I don't really do the landscaping first, because if I'm going throughout the build and I have to change, you know, how I've got the walls and things, then that'll affect the outside. So I always like leave the landscaping, you know, to the last bit, so everything's kind of set, if that makes sense. And then, you know, the landscaping isn't deleted and I have to go back and do it, if that makes sense. So that's why I do it in that order. Not all the time, sometimes I kind of jump between 2 things, but you know, for this time I did it all the interior and then went back outside and done the exterior. I did go, as you might say, I did put some fence outside, but I do change that a little bit later to a different colour and size. It was a little bit small, and I didn't really I felt like you need a little bit more privacy in the back garden, so I do change that a little bit later. And at one point, oh sorry, I just hit my microphone. At one point I did have the fence going all the way around the outside, but I felt like it looked a little bit too much, so I do go back in and just, you know, move it for the back garden area. So we're now working on the kitchen, and the kitchen kind of is a lot more modern than mid-century. I felt like since it is only a stuff pack, the Bowling Night stuff pack, there wasn't, you know, a whole lot, which, you know, is understandable in terms of items. So I didn't have like that much selection in terms of mid-century items. So that's why you might see a little bit more modern than mid-century. But you know, I feel like for the bedrooms, a lot of them were more on the modern side, apart from the 2 downstairs, which I think resembled a lot more mid-century than modern, but you know, for all the areas there is a little bit of both incorporated. So this is actually my second time doing this voiceover, because the first time I was doing it and then I had to go for a second, so I did pause the recording, and then it just said Sony Vegas Pro has stopped recording, stopped working I mean, and then I couldn't do anything. I couldn't save it and then close it. It just closed, so I had to do the whole thing all over again. And in today's video is a little bit on the longer side in terms of a voiceover, so you know, oh, that was a pain. And I was like halfway through it and oh my god, I have to just speak all again. And it feels like I'm repeating myself, but for you it doesn't, because this isn't the first time you're hearing it, if that makes sense. So I feel like I might not mention everything, so I'm sorry about that. So for this kitchen, like I said, it is a lot more modern themed, and I did incorporate those, I think those counters are from Spa Day. They're either from that or Cool Kitchen. I think those are from Spa Day, but I did, you know, use a couple of Cool Kitchen items as well, because I feel like some of the items kind of resemble a little bit of mid-century and modern at the same time, so that was good to use. Now, as you can see here, I used one of the half walls for kind of like one of those gaps in the walls there for going into the rest of the build. If that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense. Well, you can see in the kitchen there how I have like the gap in the wall. I don't know how you would explain that. There's probably a term, but I don't know it. So I am changing around the kind of like how I have the areas here. So where you see this dining room area here, I do change that over to where the back door is. I just felt like it seemed a little bit more better there by having it closer to the kitchen. And when you look out from the kitchen through that little gap there, you do see the dining table straight in front of you, so I feel like that was a little bit better to have it in that order. Now, for this downstairs area, I say there's quite a lot, but I do like to keep the downstairs area more open plan, and then the upstairs where the bedrooms and stuff are, I do keep that kind of more closed off a little bit. Well, the problem with having an open plan is that a lot of the areas seem not to kind of decorate in a way, so it was a little bit hard to fill up the spaces in some areas. So when that happens, I like to just put a couple of plants and a couple of chairs, and that seems to fix the problem. So I did do that throughout this. Another thing that I was trying to stick away from was from those basic 150 simoleon lights that everybody uses, but for this it actually kind of fit the theme. You might say I was trying to stick away from those, but I had to go back to them. There just wasn't really anything else, and they do actually light up the place really nicely, so that's why I used those. I did use some wall lamps as well, which isn't something I use a whole lot, but for this build it did seem to fit those, the ones I found. So I did go ahead and use that. So we are working on the first bathroom here, which is kind of like just a one downstairs. Isn't the master bedroom one, though. I'll do that just after this. Well, not just after it, but coming up. And I did use some of these spa day mirrors, I think, and they have those glow behind it, and they do actually change colour. And for this bathroom, I did keep it black and yellow. I just thought it was a nice colour combination to use. I mean, for the washing basket, it is a little bit on the more, well, it is a brown colour, not black, but that's okay. Another thing I want to mention is that you may, well, I don't know when this video is going up, it might be a little while ago, before this goes up. But The Sims have done something, made a really, really exciting announcement, in that they are allowing us to now create a stuff pack. Now, not, creating our own stuff pack, but they are doing kind of like a voting system for what we want to see, and then they kind of create it. So this, probably a little while ago from when this video goes up, but there were a couple of options that you could choose from on a survey. Some of the options included an eco living stuff pack, a starter home stuff pack, I think that wasn't the name for it, but something like that, an arcade stuff pack, a dangerous stuff pack, and I think the other one was wedding stuff, and I think that's pretty much it for that. The dangerous stuff one's kind of like for funerals and stuff, which I think is very, we've been wanting funerals for quite a long time actually, but for my top choice I put eco-living stuff, because some of the items that were mentioned in the description were kind of like laundry and kind of like stuff to do with build mode things, which are kind of appeals to me. My second one was the starter home one, because I really like building starter home stuff, so I think it'll make it a little bit more easier to have some cheaper items to, do that with. I think third, hang on, let's see. I think I put dangerous or the wedding stuff, because with the dangerous stuff, I mean, the funerals really appeal to me, but, it's like the other stuff in terms of like what that's about, like death and things. I don't like my Sims to die, so I wouldn't use the rest of it. So I'll probably use it like once in a blue moon. So I think I put that last actually. No. I put arcade stuff last, because with arcade stuff I feel like it'll get very boring like really quickly. I mean, it'd be good for builds and stuff, but in terms of gameplay it'll be very, very boring. I feel like that's one of the things with Bull Stuff Pack, with Bull Night Stuff Pack, is because you take your Sims bowling once and then it just gets boring after that, and there's not really anything else in terms of gameplay to do with the pack. I mean, of course, there's like build mode objects and stuff which you could do 1,000,001 things with, but in terms of gameplay, it isn't that much, so I feel like having something like eco stuff would be something that adds a lot more gameplay, and some build mode stuff as well, so it's a win-win. And yeah, so that's my reason for those things. But yeah, so they are doing like kind of stages of voting. So the first stage is over, where you decide on which of the 5 things you want in terms of orders. They're going to decide of currently doing this voiceover. I don't know what they've chosen as yet as what got the most popular vote, but I have a feeling it'll be eco stuff, because like everybody I see is voting for it, so I have a feeling it'll be that. And then they do kind of like the feature vote, where I think it's like, I don't know the order of it. It's something where you have to choose like the features from listed that you want to be seen in the pack. There's another one which is kind of like where the concept artists draw stuff and you choose from that. There's the kind of the vote where you choose which gameplay features you like, and then there's the vote for which, like the title and the icon and all those sort of things. And what was really, really cool, which really applied to me, I keep saying applied when I was supposed to say appealed to me, was that SimGuru Graham, who made the post about this on the Sims website, said that they're going to be taking photos and posting videos and stuff like that of the process of making this pack, which I've been wanting for such a long time to see from a pack. I mean, I know they can't do that for packs like in real time. They would have to post all that stuff after the pack comes out, but you know, it's going to be really nice to see how a pack is developed from start to finish behind the scenes. I find that really, really interesting, and to find people to see what goes into that would be really interesting, I think. So yeah, another thing that it was like a day after that was the next quarterly teaser, which I have done a video which actually went pretty popular on my channel. Actually, I don't know if you've seen it. I do like overviews and stuff of you know, quarterly teasers and overviews of like pack trailers and things like that. And this one was for a new game pack, which is kind of going to be family related, and a fitness pack, which is going to be coming, which is a stuff pack. The family one is a game pack, and they both look really, really cool. And I can't wait to see more about that. So, oh my god, my throat. Sorry. We're now working on another of the bathrooms. Sorry, I haven't talked about the build in like a couple of minutes. So yeah, we're working on one of the bathrooms now, which I kind of cut out. But you know, wait, where did that go? I wasn't looking at my playground screen for just a second. Then it feels like it just disappeared. I don't know. But I was working on one of the bathrooms there, which is the only one upstairs. There's two downstairs. We're working on the first bedroom here for the upstairs, which is the third bedroom in the house. For this, I kind of kept it somewhat neutral colours, and I really liked how this turned out. A lot of them are kind of kept, you know, pretty similar in terms of colour themes, apart from the odd one, which was kind of a little bit stood out a little bit, especially the blue one, which I think is the last room we do. I think it is the last screenshot anyway, that's what I remember. And another thing I've been doing quite a lot throughout this build, and it is something I do quite a lot now, is that I really like to use brick and stone as kind of like a feature wall. I use it quite a lot in my bedrooms, where I do kind of like where behind the bed I put like a feature standalone, you know, stone or brick wall. I feel like it just adds so much more to the room and just adds that little bit of detail, that little accent wall, which I think just looks so nice. Sorry, I just hit my pop filter there, I don't know if you heard. I do that quite a lot actually. And yeah, I really liked how that looked. Sorry, my throat. Before, like, between that cut, when I was talking about the dangerous stuff pack and stuff, there was a cut between it because I had to go for my dinner, and now my throat's all like, because I just ate. Anyway, so I'm now finishing up this bedroom. I didn't really, I don't know, I kind of cut out a lot of it, to be honest. You kind of, well, if I like all the middle bits of like the clips that I'm working on, I kind of cut out because it's kind of just me going through things. So do a little bit of the start of that room and then a little bit of the end, so you can see what's, you know, been happening things, and of course the screenshots like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, so now we'll want on, well, can't speak here we go. I'm working on the second bedroom here, which is kind of more of a dark theme. I also use one of those what they're called, one of those wardrobes, there we go, finally got that word out, from the Get Together expansion pack, those ones which have like, which are functional. I mean, I think all wardrobes are, that come with the game, but you know, the extra functional one. And you might be able to see that I only did two, like a 1x2 for that wardrobe, which was actually not enough space. It was for 2x2, so you might be able to see it popping throughout the other room, but I do fix that later, don't worry. And yes, I am getting a lot of lag on my playback screen now, so I'm really sorry about that if that is happening in the rendered video for you. So I'm getting a lot of lag in my computer recently. I don't know why, but for me, when I'm actually playing the game, it is very smooth. When I come back to look at the recordings, it is really laggy, and I don't know why. I have been trying to do a couple of things. Well, one of the things is with Dxtory, which is the, you know, the recording software that I use, it is, you know, really good. It's very high quality, and it was, well, pretty expensive as well, but you know, it is a really good recording software that I love to use. Very simple, and it just gets the job done in a good way. And each of the recordings take up between, like, I would say anywhere between 30 and 100 gigabytes, which I mean is absolutely crazy. And I know like 100 gigabytes is like, for most people, it's like a good percentage of their hard drive space took up. But each of my recordings take up that much space. So, you know, my hard drive space does fill up very quickly. And when then every now and again I go back through and delete quite a lot of the things, all my recordings that I've already uploaded, so I have more space to then go back and record again. But sometimes I don't do it straight away and I come back after a little while. So in the meantime, my hard drive space is being took up very quickly with all these recordings, and I have barely any hard drive space left. So I'm recording when I've only got like a small amount of hard drive space left, which I think is what is causing the lag. Also, I have quite a lot of CC in my game as well, which is something that I need to control a little bit, I think. Kind of going CC crazy at the minute. And the other thing is that, what was I going to say? Something, oh my god, totally forgot what I was about to say. Oh my god. Yeah, screenshots, that was it. The other day I looked at my screenshots folder and I had over like 6,000 screenshots and I was like, well, I was getting lots of lag and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Let me just go and check my screenshots folder, and I had over 6,000 screenshots. So I think after I removed that, it did get a little bit better. But, you know, again, when I come back to look at the recordings, it's still got the same problem. So, you know, if you have any suggestions about what you think I should do, or if you have any tips for me to reduce lag, especially in like not the actual game but kind of recordings, if you know anything about that, then please let me know. My editing software is Sony Vegas Pro 13, and my recording software is Dxtory. And yeah, so another thing is my graphics card I recently upgraded, and my power supply. My graphics card is the Nvidia GeForce GTX 980, which I bought off X7 Sims X. She was selling it and I bought it off her. And I'm glad I bought it off her because I know how she used it, because I watched every single one of her videos when she was recording it for the last year. So, you know, it has been, you know, used, and I know how it's been used. So it was good to buy it because buying it first hand was a little bit expensive, so buying it second hand I was looking for, but buying it from a trusted seller, and you know, Jen is one of my best friends, to be honest. Well, one of my good friends. I don't know if she would say that, but you know, we're really good friends now. So, you know, buying it from somebody who I trust and I know how they've used it is good for that. So I have been using that since about December, just before Christmas. I'd used it, bought it and installed it. And my gameplay has been really good. Can't speak here. Very good, but the recordings is starting to go a little bit bad now. They were very good in the beginning, but now I'm starting to see a little bit of a decrease. I don't know what that could be. So again, any suggestions, leave those down below. Oh my god, I've talked for so long there about that one topic. I'm sorry if I bored you. So now we've kind of finished off with the inside and the interior and doing the decorations and stuff. We're now moving on to the outside to do the exterior. Now, as you can see, that was just an absolute mess, that landscape, and I was just doing that with the plants there. I don't know why, I found it very, very hard to do the landscaping for this build, but I don't really know why. So, you know, I just have that sometimes. Sometimes I'm really in the mood to do landscape, and I feel like being in a mood that I'm really focused for the landscape and kind of helps. But for today, it just seemed a little bit messy. But in the end, I think it turned out okay. I did try to make it work. And yeah, so we're pretty much not really a whole lot left for me to say, to be honest. We're just going in with the final touches. The screenshots will be coming up in just a minute. I'm not finished with the landscaping in the front. I kind of went back to that a little bit later. For the back garden, I did put a big, well, it's not that big, but a pool. And I really like how that's looked, because it kind of goes right up against the house, which I think, you know, looked nice. The chair there, well, not a chair, the seating area there was, I think, looked kind of nice because the umbrella was red, which kind of contrasts to the rest of the house, and I think that contrast is kind of nice. So we're pretty much finished with the build here. We're just going in with the last couple of screenshots. You can go ahead over to the gallery. Our origin ID is Real Thomas TV1 to go ahead and download this for yourself. If you have any other suggestions for future builds that I could use the Bull Knight stuff pack with, please leave those down below in the comment section. Make sure you give this video a like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!